Hey YouTubers, I just wanted to take an opportunity to show you my modifications that I told you about on my other video. This is the Jackson Coosa. It's a 2012 model. Some of the modifications that I made for it. I did the video already on my bait box holder that you can see sort of right there. The aluminum piece that I riveted in. Keeps your bait boxes in order. The big thing I wanted to show you today is the trolling motor mount and the umbrella stand. I used the existing rod holders to take PVC pipe. PVC pipe slides right down into the rod holders, and then in the center I have a couple of fittings there. There's a T, a couple of fittings, some pipe. It goes my umbrella, just basically sits down inside of it. It's a golf umbrella. Gives me a decent amount of shade. So I'm sitting up front. Kind of a handy trick. If you don't need the rod holders to do trolling and fishing like that, this is a great use for them. I have no use for them as rod holders, as I'm a fly fisherman and the fly rods won't go in there anyway. So anyway, on to the trolling motor. You can see trolling motor mount. As I said, my neighbor made that for me. There are 4 bolts, one here, one at the back here, one on the other side, and one there. And it sits basically in the groove that your anchor chain would go in. And I went through the hole and put washers and lock nuts back there, silicone the whole thing so it's watertight. And he made the bracket for me. He welded that. And as I said before on the other video, he is absolutely able to weld these up pretty quickly and ship them to your home. If you are interested in one of those, it's pretty sturdy, solid piece. If you're interested in one, contact me and I'll put you in contact with him and you guys can work out a price on that. This is a Minn Kota Endura C2 30-pound of thrust trolling motor that I purchased new at Bass Pro Shop for $114. And I just took the power head off of it that normally you would control it, and put a PVC connection here, ran my wires through the cabling, and put some trailer connections here, and I ran the wires with silicone through the boat. As far as the electronics go, you can see they come out just behind the cockpit area, right behind my seat. Again, same tubing here to kind of keep it all in order. And I took the controller out of the trolling motor itself and put it in this little wooden box that I made out of 2x4s, and took a Dremel and kind of sanded it down. Also put a kill switch, that way worst case scenario I can kill the whole thing, power off completely. But this is flexible, so as I'm fishing I will take this, and see I've scratched up my paint. I'll just lay it back there as I'm fishing, and when I'm ready to go I'll grab it, set it up in my lap, and I can control the motor from up front. I'll turn the motor on so you can see battery on. So it works pretty good. Battery off. All right, now as far as where the battery is, normally you'd have the battery fairly close to the trolling motor. In this case I wanted to spread the weight, so I moved the battery up to my front compartment, which is a great place for it. Battery lives up front here. Cables run down through the boat, and the power cables come out right here. They go into the power head where they connect to the switch, and then 4 cables run out of this through here back under the boat, and they come out right there to run the motor. As far as in the boat, what this is, this yellow stuff, I took a garbage bag and put it down in the boat, and I sprayed great stuff, that foam sealant stuff in there, and when it hardened, it shaped like the bottom of the boat. It doesn't stick to garbage bags, so I pulled it off the garbage bag and I just set it in the boat. It gives the battery something nice and cushioned to sit on. I'm probably going to put some other pieces on either side of this to keep that battery from rocking around. Figured out that that was necessary. So anyway, all right, as far as the trolling motor itself, since we can't use the anchor groove that was made in place. I actually rigged a little piece of aluminum here and put some pulleys on it, and I doubled the anchor size that they recommend because I had some issues with the river and the current and things like that. So this works really well. It'll stop you. If this can hit the bottom, it will absolutely stop you in a pretty good current. But anyway, anchor system is just like the one Drew recommended. The only difference is I've added a pulley here, and it runs through the same thing up to the dog walking device. As far as how I rigged the trolling motor, I have a cotter pin here that will come out so that this whole arm will come off. This is the control arm. I made it out of a piece of PVC pipe. Got a universal joint in there, so it's very flexible, but it will still turn the motor as I remove it. Okay, as far as controls go, I've got the control arm here, which is made out of an old crutch. You can see it's connected back to the motor. I put a bungee cord on there just to keep it from dropping in the water. Had that happen once, not any fun. And that controls the motor pretty well, left and right. Now you'll see I have, I'm using the base from the trolling motor that came from the manufacturer, and I made a few modifications. I've put a bolt here. This is normally what you'd have to squeeze to release the locking mechanism to allow you to raise and lower the motor, but I couldn't do that because I can't reach it from the front. So what I did, my solution workaround was I put an eye bolt through the normal tensioner that's here, and ran a cable. So the cable goes through the eye bolt. It goes around the locking mechanism handle. I put a bolt in there to keep it from sliding off. Comes around to the other side, and then I just tie a simple Prusik knot. Very easy to tie, and it's easy to come loose. When I want to take it off, I just unfurl it, and that works pretty well. So it runs through the grabs there, and then I have a handle that goes up to the cockpit. But I'll show you how it works. I pull on this, and when I pull it, it releases. Actually, it should be on top of that. But when I pull it, it releases and allows me to use the block and tackle to raise and lower the trolling motor. So now I will try to, how will I do this? Show you how this thing works. That's going to be interesting since I only have one set of hands. That raises and lowers it. The block and tackle are just connected with a shackle. Put a shackle at the top. I need to replace this D-ring. It was not quite strong enough. Anyway, I have a shackle at the top of the shaft of the trolling motor, connected to a pulley. That's connected to another pulley that is connected to the trolling motor base. Wire runs back and forth. Easy to disconnect, easy to travel. You can take the trolling motor off and just leave this connected. It runs underneath here. It runs underneath the seat up to a handle, which will allow me to raise and lower the motor from the front of the boat. Anyway, I hope this gives you guys some great ideas and spurs you to do things to your own Coosa. And as I said, if you're interested in this motor base, contact me, let me know. Send me a message and let me know. My neighbor lives just down the street, and he's a super great guy, and he can weld these things up in no time flat. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'll have other great videos, I'm sure, somewhere down the pike as I figure out new things I can do to this thing. Thanks a lot. Bye.